You know, when people make a decision that they're going to take control of their physical futures and get fit, sometimes they're overwhelmed because there's so much information out there, and sometimes it doesn't seem like it applies to them. But here are some really basic things to do. First, set a goal. You have to know where you're going in order to go in the right direction to get there. Second, find a program that fits for you. There are many ways you can become fit, and it is not a generic pathway. Find what works for you and stick with it. Some people have never exercised before. You know, women in their 50s, 60s, 70s were once taught that exercise was bad for women and that women shouldn't exert themselves like this. So they have overcome that mindset and very traditional teaching to get into exercise late in life. There's no age when you're too old. There is no starting point that is too sedentary because our bodies are amazing. They will adapt and do anything you ask them to do.
There are 4 components to fitness, and I put together a word that I hope people will remember, and it's called FACE. I want people to face your future of physical exercise. F stands for flexibility. We have to stretch every major body part every single day. A stands for aerobic activity, 30 minutes of brisk exercise 3 times a week. C stands for carry a load, whether that load is your own body weight or some iron dumbbells or even some rubber bands. And finally, E stands for equilibrium. As we age, our balance declines, but we can totally retrain it if we do it every single day. So let's say you're balancing on one foot for 20 seconds and you're pretty good at it. And then you can close your eyes and you're pretty good at that. Well, then start swinging your arms, because that motion forces you to use all muscles in your body to balance. When you do this every day, you're going to get really good at balancing.
I think the Prima Start participants find it interesting that this is a multi-generational interest in fitness throughout a lifetime. What I know that they like is that they have an instructor that knows what it's like to be over 50.
Had taken 10 years off. She said, I'm going to run the Chicago Marathon. You want to do it with me? I said, sure.
Having my father running alongside me on the track prevented me from just stopping my workout. Because what are you going to do? Your dad's running with you. You can't let your father finish your race and you not finish. So it definitely kept me out there on days when you just don't want to run anymore.
When we were running the different races, it's always great to have your daughter along.
This is our first marathon together, 1998 in Chicago.
I don't know if it'll come out.
It's a nice tradition to run with your dad. Despite a lifelong habit of exercising, long distance running, my dad still had a heart problem. But the doctor says that it's the lifelong habit of exercising that saved his life, actually. So about 10 months after you had open heart surgery, we ran another half marathon together.
A little joke is that I can't run a marathon without having the family doctor, okay? Well, when we ran that marathon, she stayed within 2 steps. Wouldn't let me go.
And I remember standing in a crowd of, I don't know how many people, 15, 20,000 people, shoulder to shoulder, with this man who has a scar on his chest from heart surgery, and just thinking how remarkable it was to not only be racing again with my dad, but that he was even here to get to do something that we love to do together.
This is Vonda Wright. Hey Vonda, congratulations.
Then Isabella and Vonda and I crossed together. 3 generations. How about that? I encouraged her early in her life she had a hard time. So she encouraged me to get back into running. That's been 10 years ago, and I'm still at it.
Living a sedentary lifestyle is probably one of the most detrimental ways a person can affect their future. There are more than 33 diseases put into a conglomeration called sedentary death syndrome. Every part of our bodies, whether it is our brains, our hearts, our lungs, our muscles, our bones, are positively affected by a commitment to being active. We know that exercise can increase brain function, which is key for maintaining independence as we age. Now, exercising is not something
and getting fit is not something that will just come if you don't do anything. There's real sweat equity involved. So it will take time, but look ahead to your goal and know that this working hard is going to be forever, but the working hard gets easier. And then finally, just believe that you can do it, a step at a time, one step in front of the other as you get away from the couch and onto the road.